Thank you for your time with us being on our YouTube channel. Where are you from?
We're from the UK, from England.
Oh, which city?
Oxford,
Oxford.
so just near London.
Ah, okay. And you're here as a tourist?
Yes.
Yes, we're here on our honeymoon.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, and is this your first time in Japan?
Yeah, that's our first time yet.
Then you chose Japan for your honeymoon.
Yes.
May I ask why or what made you to come to Japan?
How beautiful it is, and the food. The beautiful city, the beautiful temples, the things to see, but also the food. We like the food a lot.
I see. And how long have you been staying in Japan so far?
About a week and a half, about 10 days so far. So we started in Tokyo, and then we came to Kyoto and Osaka, and then we go to Okinawa for a little while.
So you're going to Okinawa?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Made it for the cherry blossom season?
Yes.
Did you plan to come to this season?
We hoped we would, but it's been even better than we thought because they've been so beautiful, and I think they were a bit late this year, weren't they? And yes, we're very pleased to have seen them. So beautiful.
Okay. May I ask your highlights, which includes surprising things or interesting things, or anything you can share with us.
Yeah, I think we've enjoyed everywhere that we've been, but it's interesting to see how different parts of Japan are. Osaka is very different to Tokyo, and the food and the people are very different to Tokyo as well, and that is a bit of a surprise, but we did not know what to expect. Anything you...
Other highlights, we went to an onsen, which we don't have in the UK, so that was really nice, going to the onsen and seeing sort of the traditional bathing as well was very nice. Real highlights have been all of the great food as well, and the weather is so nice as well, much warmer than back home.
I see.
So we've had a really lovely time. It's been a perfect honeymoon.
Then maybe I'm going to ask you a little bit deeper about food. And which do you like? Or your favorite food of Japanese food do you have?
Everything. We came and we really like sushi, so that's what we were expecting, a lot of sushi. But we've tried so many different things, so I particularly liked okonomiyaki as well, very much like that. And some of the chicken wings that we had in Osaka here were so nice. Such good chicken wings. But really it's mostly the seafood, and just how all of the street food with the seafood, you don't have that so much back in the UK. In general, you go out to a restaurant and you sit for time in a restaurant for the evening, but it's been nice to walk around the markets and to sort of have sample one street food and then another street food and then something different. So yeah. How about you?
Kushikatsu, especially here in Osaka.
And also the sashimi, so the tuna, the toro,
the oily fat one.
Yeah, really good. Really enjoyed that.
You discovered okonomiyaki here in Japan then?
Yes.
You didn't know about it?
Yes, we didn't have it at home. And also shabu shabu, we never have at home, but it's here. So at home you would have sushi or ramen or katsu curry, but not so much like okonomiyaki or takoyaki or shabu shabu.
So you said you liked kushikatsu. So the restaurant was so strict about dipping the sauce just once in stuff, right?
I mean, the sauce was very good, so it's just one really big dip.
I think it's for us. When we came to Japan, we did a lot of reading on how to maintain politeness, because obviously that's very important to the Japanese people and Japanese culture. So we were a little bit worried that we would do some things that were considered impolite without necessarily meaning to. So we looked up some of the things that you should and shouldn't do with eating and that kind of thing. So we were aware of some of those things, and to be asking questions about what we should avoid and to avoid causing offence.
Yeah, we also appreciate that kind of like attitude when you come to like in other countries like Japan. But were there anything like surprising like manners or etiquette then?
I think the organisation is so much better than we have at home. So I was quite surprised by that. Even at all of the train stations, saying which side to walk on, or which side of the road to walk on, or where to stand when people get on and off the train. Because in London, on the underground, on the trains, it's just crazy. Just people push, people get on and off, no one lines up. But here, everyone lines up so nicely, and it makes it so much nicer. It was very good. So we were quite surprised. Was there anything else you were surprised?
No, not surprised. I think maybe my expectation was that it would be very difficult, difficult to adapt to, and everything would feel quite rigid, and maybe, you'd be very, very worried about causing offence. But I think maybe what we found is that if you make an effort, then people are quite, understanding. If you do something that isn't necessarily intended to cause offence, that you might just do it without realising. So I don't think we've felt, like it's really rigid, and we're worried all the time about doing something wrong, which is quite nice, because you do sometimes worry that if there's certain codes of behaviour and you're worried about breaking them all the time, then it becomes quite unpleasant. But I don't think it's been like that at all.
Everyone's been very helpful.
Yeah, very helpful.
Our Japanese is very bad, so we came knowing 2 words, didn't we?
Yeah.
We knew arigato, and we knew how to say umeshu kudasai, and that was it. And we've picked up little bits as we've been going along, haven't we? Yeah. And everyone's been so helpful.
So you like drinking?
The plum wine.
Plum
so
wine,
my friend works for Hitachi, so she'd been over a few times before. So she'd taught us a few things and said, because I'd not had umeshu before I came here, and she said, you have to, it's so tasty. And she taught me how to say umeshu kudasai. So that was our one thing that we knew.
Yeah, and also still not many people, like Japanese people, are fluent in English. So yeah,
much better than our Japanese. The Japanese people's English is much better than our Japanese.
And if you get the help of the Google translation,
very good.
Okay. Yeah. And have you ever been to other Asian countries?
Yes, a few. Yeah. So you have a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been to Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia as well, and you've been to a few as well.
South Korea and Taiwan I've been to, but never Japan, and we've both wanted to go for such a long time. We've really wanted to, and then with COVID, with coronavirus, we weren't able to come, so we thought honeymoon, is the one place we really wanted to come. So
I see.
Happy.
And have you see any like differences between those other Asian countries and Japan?
Yes, quite a lot. It's more calm here, more polite, more calm, and easier. I think easier to get around, easier to understand, easier to work things out. So I love Japan. I really love Japan.
So you mean that like signs on the street or stuff?
But things just make sense more. It's more intuitive to follow around in places like South Korea or Taiwan. I felt confused of where to go or what to do, whereas here, especially with the rules and especially with the guidance, like in stations and directions, it's been so easy. It's been easy to navigate. It's been easy to understand what you should do or what you shouldn't do. That's what I found.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
I think maybe one of the other differences is in some South Asian countries, it's maybe a little bit easier in some respects because they speak more English, but actually a lot of the signs here are in English, and people do speak some English, so it's not too bad. There's that aspect, but I would say that it's a lot more ordered. It's a lot cleaner, and it's a lot sort of easier to navigate.
And I think in terms of things to do and things to see as well, Japan's felt more diverse. So we felt we had a really good experience in Tokyo, and then a really good but very different experience in Kyoto. And again, the same in Osaka. It's all been really different, and there's been lots to do. Even just today, we've just gone for a walk to the castle to see some temples, and there's lots to do, and it's all very different of things to do.
So even in Japan, in a country,
So different to all of the different cities.
The cities.
And I like that.
So you thought the other Asian countries looks more like a single, like a strong culture.
Less differences between the areas, I would say.
Oh, I see.
So some cities, so in Taiwan, one city was similar to another city, I think, whereas in Japan, they're very, very different.
I think the travel between different parts of Japan has been very easy as well, we've found, whereas previously I've travelled around within Asian countries quite a lot, so within Vietnam, for example, I travelled up through Vietnam, and that was very different as a tourist. That it's not as easy to do that, whereas we found here with the Shinkansen and other methods of transport, so easy for tourists. But you don't mind it wherever you go. It's just you find it slightly different.
The Shinkansen was so fast, so fast.
How about the comparing with TGV?
Yeah,
or Eurostar?
Yeah.
I've not used that. I've not used the TGV.
I see.
Have you?
No, not really.
I've not used that.
But from London, there's so much of the underground, and I think tourists to London find that very confusing. For us, it makes sense because we live there, but I think I wouldn't like to be a tourist coming to London and trying to work it out. And whereas I think here it's all the travel around between cities or within a city is so easy. Very easy.
Then one last question. I'm just curious. What are you expecting in Okinawa? What are you going to do? Like a beach, or are you going to go to scuba diving?
Scuba diving, animals. That's what I want to see. All of the sea animals. So we're expecting. We're very pleased that the weather is better because when we were here, we saw with the earthquake, and we were worried about the tsunami potentially. That was when there were the alerts. So we're very pleased that that's not there. But we're expecting. Beaches and scuba diving and lots of sea and relaxing. So we've been walking a lot over the last 10 days. We've walked everywhere. So looking forward to some rest as well.
I see.
We've been very busy. We've every day has been trying to see as many things as possible in the time that we have in Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto. So I think we're looking forward to maybe just relaxing for a few days.
Concluding your honeymoon.
Exactly. I think, what I'd heard quite a lot before we came to Japan, that Okinawa and the sort of the culture and the food and all those types of things is very different from other parts of Japan. So I'm quite looking forward to seeing how different it is, because obviously we've experienced difference between Tokyo and Osaka, for example. We've already sort of seen that difference, and if people have said, well, it's also very different there, so it's quite exciting to see what that looks like, how different is the food, are the people different, like that kind of thing.
And slow pace of life.
Still, for Japanese people like me who haven't been to Okinawa, I'm so jealous.
It looks beautiful.
And they have like a special, cocktail, like a drink, the sake over there,
okay.
and
we'll
also like a pork, like their food, the cuisine, Okinawa cuisine.
We read up about that. Lots of pork and
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was so fun talking about it.